It's wrestling podcast. Welcome to It's All Pro Wrestling Podcast. My name is Bill.
And my name is Doug.
And together we are two men in our 40s talking about professional wrestling. But this is wrestling assignments, so we're not talking about pro wrestling. But we are talking about pro wrestling. And the pro wrestling we're talking about is about homework. Well, no, we don't call it homework because that's an infringement thing. We call it assignments. We call it assignments because what happens is that Doug gives me something to watch and it's from the past. And then I give Doug something to watch and it's from the past. And sometimes it's really good. Sometimes it's dog shit. Sometimes it's something that we don't even know but spikes our interest. Sometimes we know it's dog shit and we give it to each other. But overall, here you are watching it with us. I hands.
Can I give you a match from the future?
No. Well, yeah, Doug, do that, you dipshit.
Bill, I want you to watch the main event of the next Triple Mania.
Triple Mania. I think there is a triple or it's not a triple A. We call it triple A and it's not triple A. It's called something different. And I can't remember what it is exactly. It's like,
triple I.
No, they don't even say triple. They just go, and
they better. I'm gonna go look it up now.
Yeah, it's essentially just it's throat singing. But there's a Conan Booker of the Year. Conan has a show coming up. I saw. I didn't recognize anyone on it. Maybe, well, of course, one of the clowns are on it. But
hell yeah, is it Dave?
Dave the Clown? No, it's Murder Clown. Oh, there is a Dave the Clown, isn't there?
Yeah, he's gonna become.
He's coming to Hugo's, isn't he? Is it Hugo's or Vagos? It's Hugo's.
Hugo's. It's like Hugo's Dave Murder and Insane or is it Insane Clown or
No Psycho? We're talking about
Psycho Dave.
For those who not in Denver, it's this lucha promotion called Hugo's. They only promote their shows like twice a year, but they have like quadrillion shows. They have their 11th anniversary show coming up, and actually, it has Taurus on it.
Is he just going by Taurus now?
He's not going by Taurus now. He's going by something completely different.
Really?
I can't remember what it is, but they call him Taurus. Well, fuck, it might not be Taurus, but that was
kind of. I'm like, that guy looks like Black Taurus.
Yeah, no,
it only says Taurus.
And that mask is a hard mask to just fake. Like anyone can get an Atlantis Junior mask and say they're Atlantis Junior. The Taurus mask is, I mean, I'd assume it's costly, but they could probably make it. And it'd be funny if there is like just one of like the Hugo's students just spending 100 and fuck, I don't even know how much masks are. How much are masks? You have a guy who who gets maskuses.
Oh god, I can't remember this guy's name. I saw him in Colorado Springs. He had like what the fuck was that?
I had my feet resting on something and it broke. Leave me alone. I'm fat.
He was selling his cheap mask for $60. He was selling his professional grade ones that were like super nice quality,
like a Lindsay Dorado mask.
Yeah, it's like $250.
That seems right. Because Lindsay sells his used masks. Remember when we've seen him at Lucha Libre and Laughs? He sells them for about 80 to 100, I think, right?
I think so.
Does that seem right?
Something like that.
Yeah. And Lindsay makes good fucking masks. Makes good fucking gear.
I remember early on. I remember Lipto was selling a used mask, and it was like 65 or
I
something like
remember
that.
Lipto selling masks.
Because I was like, oh, that'd be really cool. And I'm like, yeah,
Anyway,
wait,
so
Bill, you got to inform people about all Dave and murder. So we're not just ramming off. So in
ramming
AAA,
off.
we're just ramming one into
We're just
Dave.
Charizarding or whatever the fuck you just said on the podcast recording. By the way, for those who are finding us on YouTube, we do have a podcast. Actually, the podcast episode is also on YouTube that we record as well. So,
But also
listen,
on every other
podcast
platform.
podcast places. So ramrodding.
Psycho Circus.
What are we talking? Why are you talking about Psycho Circus for?
I don't know, because we started talking about Dave and Murder Clown. And then you were starting to give a backstory.
Oh,
who goes?
Who? No, it was just who. Taurus is going to be at Who Goes.
Oh, cool.
On their 11th anniversary show, and you can find information. You can find information for that at itsallprowrestling.com/calendar. By the way, we have a website. You can find a calendar for Rocky Mountain independent and non-independent shows.
Mm-hmm.
At least for the time being.
Covering Colorado, Utah, Arizona, Kansas, Oklahoma, Utah, Wyoming,
Montana,
as many things as we can find.
Yeah, I think I'm backing out of Oklahoma. We're slowly moving out of Oklahoma. If you haven't figured that one out yet,
that's cool.
Yeah, it was just to promote.
Until Oklahoma gets. There's a few people we knew and liked were in Oklahoma. That's why I found it.
Yeah, exactly. And, yeah. Oh,
Bill.
Excuse me. Sorry. Yeah.
Are we here to talk about Dave the Clown for 2 hours?
We're talking about professional wrestling
assignments.
So we're a week late. Last episode. Doug and I watched a match of Aja Kong versus Minoru Suzuki back in 2011, maybe. Mm-hmm. And then we also watched a CZW show from 2004, which was pretty much the American debut of sorts of El Generico and Kevin Steen. They also wrestled Sexy Eddie and XS69. You can go back, find that. In the end, we liked the Generico match. Aja Kong and Minoru Suzuki was fine, but feel free to watch that. This week, Doug, this is where you're supposed to say, Bill, where did I take you? There you go.
Bill, where in the world did I take you this week for wrestling assignments?
Well, Doug, great question. You took me to, well, I think it's Tokyo. Likely Tokyo. Maybe not. Can't remember.
Can you pronounce the name of the dome?
Yeah, I could do that. So it's May 3rd, 1993, New Japan Pro Wrestling, Dontaku in Fukuoka Dome.
Ooh.
1993. Nice. See, Doug, I am not racist, unlike you, with your Yellow Pages doctrine. Fukuoka. You took me to, I think it was the main event, likely the main event.
I was.
Yeah, Hulk Hogan versus Great Muta.
1993.
Yeah. Hulk Hogan, Great Muta, 1993. Let's fucking give it a go.
He's such a honk. Muta.
Yeah, not the other one. So a couple things right off the bat on this one. Hogan is the tiniest Hogan has ever been. Like ever. Good old Miss.
What happened? This was 93.
93. So this was post WWF steroid. Like this is the end of Hulkamania, beginning of what is going on? Oh, look at me. I'm trying to speed it up here. Fuck this shit.
Ooh.
Um it's the end of Hulkamania,
Mhm.
entering into New Gen. The steroid trial against WWF, Vince McMahon for essentially distributing and trafficking WWF trafficking.
No.
No. Steroids. So everyone had to go clean. Like this is where you have Ultimate Warrior wearing the wrestling singlet. This is where you
That
have
when he
Hulk
went
Hogan.
shirt.
It wasn't the shirt, it was that singlet. Like he wore that weird, like nudie singlet. Everyone, because they had to be tested from that point on for steroids. And you have Hulk Hogan, 93, world champion. When was this again? Was this May? Is that what I said?
Yeah, May '93.
So he had just won the belt in WrestleMania 9 from fucking Yokozuna fucking over Bret Hart.
Mm-hmm.
And he's tiny as fuck.
Those aren't
Uh
22-inch pythons, brother.
24 is the gimmick
24.
there.
Oh.
Doug, tell me why you gave this to me first of all.
I've always heard some rumblings about this match that like Hogan was different in New Japan. You gotta watch his matches. He can actually wrestle. Like his New Japan run was amazing, and it's against the fucking Great Muta. So I'm like, all right,
And
let's
not
give it a
just the great
try
Muta, but early 90s Muta, the
for
terror.
sure.
I mean, Muta was always a terror, but like, wow, shit, when he was brought over by Gary Hart, I think it was the late 80s. Maybe I could be wrong on that. Likely am. But into now, when he was actually showing up in WCW, the NWA period, where he was actually NWA champion, Muta was a terror
Hmm.
for American fans. It was the typical evil foreigner ship.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think I saw a Twitter post and like it showed a few moves and like Hogan hit a Insiguri. I'm like, well, that's fucking weird. Let's see what this match is about.
Let's check this out.
Yeah.
So
So what do you
for
think?
well, we'll find out to the end. See, this is how you keep
Break
YouTube
it down.
viewers. The first
Watch
thing that
along.
actually first thing that surprised me about this, honestly, was how tall Muda is. Like Hogan at this period in time is supposed to be anywhere between 6'6" to 6'8". Muda's not that much shorter than him, if this is the case. Like I've never thought of Muda being like I
Six
know he's not like a tiny guy, but I've never thought he would be,
6'2" to
6'2".
6'4". Yeah.
Yeah,
I peg him for like a
a honk.
5'10".
You yes, dug in your yellow pages with 5'10". No, literally I thought like, a 6 foot guy, 6'1" maybe. Um but yeah, that surprised me. Um Overall, I remember when I first watched this, and I watched this, Jesus, week and a half ago, give or take. So I'm not completely fresh on it. Like I can't go spot for spot, brother, and break it down. But what I can tell you is that I thought it was incredibly bizarre that we're doing the. What is wrong with
Oh,
you?
I had to sneeze.
Ugh. I thought it was completely bizarre that we're running even though, okay, the story of the match is that we're running a Hulk Hogan evil foreigner match. While Hogan himself is actually the foreigner, but he's supposed to be the
Be
not
the
evil
good.
foreigner.
Mm-hmm.
Like everything about this just reeks. Oh, ooh, drop toe hold. God, that looked like shit. Um, everything, everything what about it was this was a typical Hogan evil foreigner match, and even like it was a typical Hogan match at this time. Oh, brother, you really got that locked in. Oh, this was fucking funny. He puts on a submission and then rolls into a pin
Yeah.
because he didn't know what the fuck he was doing. He
It's like
didn't.
early on, he like hit a few moves, got some confidence, and then he tried to keep like technical wrestling, and he just like
He doesn't know what the
just
fuck
lost
he's
it.
doing. He has no idea.
First glance, you're like, "Oh, look at Hogan technical wrestling," and then then when you watch the whole thing, you're like, "Oh yeah,
It's bad. It's bad. He sucks. He fucking sucks. Now, does that mean that the match sucks? No.
In my opinion, Muta saved it. Muta being Muta.
Muta did everything in his power to try to make it worthwhile. Is what I would say. But we go back to the every Hogan move possible. He goes to the test of strength. There's a period. Is that it? No. We might have missed it already, but there's a period where he he goes out or he tried like something happens and it was kind of early on and he starts doing like the Hulk up thing like to finish the match like you know exactly what it is. It's the
Yeah,
shaking of the hair. It's like the and then he realizes that he's only like a couple minutes into the match and then he stops and then he's like he tries to sell like it he's so fucking bad. Like he he doesn't know how to do any type of match other than the Hogan match. And it just fucking shows. Like he's okay, we need to get more heat, so we'll go out into the crowd, brother, because this is what guidance are supposed to do. I know that. We go get nothing. Nothing about this is great. I mean that okay. The high
that
the
was a high
high
backdrop.
backdrop suplex. I'm gonna give him some credit. But he goes out and does brawling, and then he goes in and goes Ichiban number. Or he goes Ichiban, Ichiban,
Oh, yeah.
and then
This he starts
like
dancing around like for the finish here, and then oh
who
wait,
is who is
oh,
supposed to
oh,
be
oh.
the good guy and who's supposed to be the bad guy in this?
Where are we at in the match? Because it switches about 3/4 of the way.
Well, Hogan matches do that in general, where he'll start pushing around the ref, which he does, and this is Tiger that's in the mat that's refing, and he starts pushing around. He'll start pushing around the ref and doing everything, and like he starts wrestling heel just to get heat in the match, and he does it, but it's still face. But it's so this is so confusing though. I think for the crowd because Muta is definitely supposed to be the heel and Hogan's supposed to be the face or the good guy. But the crowd doesn't know how to fucking react.
I like this spot.
This was a
let's
good
just
spot.
let's
I'll
just
just
tuck
put a
the ring.
hammer. Like this needs to happen more and more. The idea of taking the hammer from the bell.
You know who needs to do this?
Hangman.
No, Austin Reddick.
Oh, he does. He
That'd
tried
be a
doing something
perfect
like that,
move.
didn't he?
I think so.
Oh.
Oh,
Like Hulk Hogan, and I know he's completely disinterested. He doesn't want to be fucking wrestling anymore. He wants to be going to Hollywood at this time. But he's just, I've never seen someone phone it in so much. I mean, I don't like the man personally, and I know that clouds my aspect of him. But how the fuck did this guy do anything?
How did he become the greatest
Well,
wrestler of all
I knew
time?
how. It's because he was a fucking monster of a human being and
Yeah,
fucking coked out of his fucking gills. And he decided that he was going to
write
wave
it
an
out.
American flag during the Reagan era. It wasn't until WCW where he could start doing the roids again. And WCW fucking hated him too. Like
The,
the red and yellow Hogan, WCW fuck.
I love this spot.
I used to hate this spot so fucking much, and I don't remember when I decided that it's the best.
Was it always Muta you hated it from,
And no,
or
I
any?
hated it from everyone. I was just like, it's so dumb. Why would you do that? And then
It's
all of a
great.
sudden, and then I saw someone do it, and I was just like, okay, this is fucking funny. I love it. Get a full head of steam. But going back to Hogan, like it literally wasn't until NWO. And Doug was just like, he's the coolest ever. But then things wore off with him there. Like, that's a heel move.
Hmm.
I'm going to hit you again.
This is where the crowd, if you watch this on your own, you'll start hearing the crowd like start to switch around now.
Yeah. But who are they switching to? They're
Boo and
switching to
Hogan,
Muta.
and yeah,
Like, because he starts wrestling heel. Because, like, the Japanese crowd it understands. Japanese crowds are just smarter than American crowds. There's your insecurity.
yeah, the whole
Which is,
reason we watch this.
which in all honesty, it wasn't a bad insecurity. It really wasn't. But but we're going back to like get let's go get some babyface heat now. Muta has the best little cartwheel back drop thingy ever. Muta without face paint is not very intimidating though.
No.
Moonsault, good looking moonsault.
Good looking moonsault.
What I have no idea. Like Hogan acting in that, like how he grabs him and he spins. Like it once again takes all the realism out of like getting pinned. That motherfucker cannot have his shoulders on the ground to save his life.
And
Oh, is this where we get to the ladder? It is.
oh yeah, I forgot about this part.
Yeah.
I wish we had a. Oh, by the way, I'm gonna make my own vest like that for when I do photos.
Which vest? Is
Did
it
you see all the photographers that just it's a big yellow vest and it just says like photo 18.
Yeah, the number vest. I love the number vest. You should do that. Maybe that's what I get you for Hanukkah.
That'd kick ass.
That would, but oh, where was it? I think like if you look at WrestleMania, fuck, people are gonna murder me, but I'm gonna say it's WrestleMania 12. It's the one with Lawrence Taylor. Like they have ton of photographers all around, and they all have the same. They all have like the vest with the numbers on the outside of them. I think that's the first time I saw that. Because international press, brother. Once again,
Oh,
that's a heel
yeah.
move, right? He wants to hit. He wants to hit Muta with a fucking chair,
and then he
like
knows he fucks up. I don't know who fucked this up.
Can't do a fucking headlock takeover.
No sells the mist.
Goes for the leg drop. Atomic leg drop. Muta's too strong for the atomic leg drop. What? And he forgets to fucking. He doesn't know what to do.
He doesn't even
that's
Hogan up.
Like yeah, like the typical Hogan. in that situation would like
Misses big boot.
and then like try to like hook up and get like the weakest clothesline for a finish
Yeah.
or lariato.
He
Because
doesn't
he's
do any Hulk. It's like a Hulk match without being a Hulk match, but it is a
yeah
Hulk match.
yeah. So with that being said, I hated it. I hated the match. I mean, it was. Do I hate like the fact that I had to watch it? Nah. But do I
It's
hate the
fair.
match? Yeah, I sucked. It's just there's nothing. There was nothing to it. It was my analytical brain. Nah, just
I don't hate the match because of Great Muta.
that's her. Muta was fine, but if you want to watch Muta versus Sting. Like any WCW NWA matches, I know I can't think of one off the top of my head. Might be because of these, but like Muta versus Sting at that time, if you want to watch a Gaijin versus the Evil Foreigner, watch Muta versus Sting matches. Like, I mean, in fact, what I'll even do, Doug, is that I will look up Muta versus Sting, while I say, Doug, where did I take you?
And this is where I'm like, Bill, you
Didn't
took
have
me
that
back
ready.
in the time to October 10th, 1995. All Japan Pro Wrestling October Giant Series 95. We are in day 18. We got Gary Albright versus Toshiaki Kawada.
We do have that, Doug. We certainly do.
Was this your first time watching Gary Albright?
Not my first time, no. Um, I've done some Gary Albright. Remember if you remember correctly, I told you I very legally purchased the entire UWFI catalog.
Mm-hmm.
So I went through not a lot. I went through a couple Albright matches there.
I've seen a few matches from there.
Okay.
I want to say I've maybe seen a Vader match.
There is a Vader match. Yes, that is a UWFI match, I want to say. I will look it up and probably tell you right now I'm wrong on the
Yeah.
video. But I do, yeah, I want to say that there is a Gary Albright Vader match. Albright was essentially, as far as UWFI was concerned, in my opinion, he was the only other Gaijin. Bob Backlund showed up there.
Mm-hmm.
Severn might have been there too. But as far as like great monster fucking Gaijin, it was Albright
But
and Vader.
and then once Vader really came back in and had his presence again, Albright was kind of pushed out or not as big of a deal anymore as when he
Yeah.
first. I I like old Gary. He's
Good old Gary. Good
good
old
old Gary.
Cornhusker. Good old Cornhusker Gare Bear.
I'm trying to. I was trying to think of like who he compares to, and it's he's got like a little bit of like. You want to say Vader for the size, but it's not
He's not
Vader.
Vader. He moves
It's
better
like
than Vader. And it's
it's
not
almost
even his
like
style.
Kurt Angle crossed with Terry Gordy. I don't know. Like
Mm.
it's like
I
he's
would say
smooth.
so. Angle or Scott's. I would say probably Scott Steiner, like early Scott Steiner, not Papa Pump, but
Yeah.
the suplexes,
Hmm.
the suplexes for sure.
And then he's just so smooth, like a big guy like that rolling into those submissions that they pull all match long.
Mm-hmm. It's
Like
he wrestles
I,
smart.
yeah,
Oh, so maybe okay. How about that? I will give you the Kurt Angle, or I have one better, and it's not that I'm knocking Kurt Angle. Bret Hart. he wrestles smart. Like it was a real fight, even though it's not, but it's a real fight. And I want to say it's Scott Steiner versus Bret Hart. As far as
Makes sense.
psychology is concerned, it's Bret Hart.
Yeah.
Scott Steiner, pretty close, like early Scott Steiner. I want to say everywhere else. Kurt Angle works though. I do see. We can go with Kurt Angle, but see that to me, like that reminds me of like everything as far as like trying to work Kawada's leg because Kawada's kicks are fucking evil as shit. That seems like a very Bret Hart move to me
A
in a
Bret
Bret Hart
move.
match.
Yeah, for sure. Try to neutralize strength of your opponent.
How about a minute or whatever before he dropped into that submission, he's about to get vertical suplex or brainbuster. He drops down to one knee to counter the throw. Right, that's something that I would see from Bret Hart. Like everything is treated because it's fucking All Japan or UWFI. Everything is treated like a big match feel with that is a real fight in these situations.
I mean, if you didn't know better, you could. It looks. Part of this match looks like almost shoot style. Like it looks very real, especially in the beginning.
Well, as
And
well
it's
as
not just super clean suplexes. It's like they're struggling. They're trying. It looks real because it's not like, all right, jump up, we're hitting you with the German, or it's like
it's
they're
not
both struggling.
superhuman feats. Like it's not NXT. It's not in my opinion bad AEW where everything is just very it's body weight. Like no, that motherfucker just lifted that other motherfucker up and took him down. Like that snap makes sense because of the hip motion on Albright. The thing I loved the very beginning is how cool this fucking crowd is and how in tune this crowd is to both wrestlers. The very beginning, Albright gets in. I never wrestled like amateur. I don't know MMA. I should have looked the idea of it, but he does I call it a drop around. It's not what it's called, but it's when you drop down to your knee, you wrap around your opponent, and you grab a waist lock, right? As soon as he did that, but as soon as Albright did that in the right, as soon as Albright did that at the beginning,
Yeah.
the whole crowd was like, "Oh fuck!" Like because they thought
Yeah.
Kawada was fucked at that point, like
Every time he
automatically.
every time he had that waist lock from behind, the crowd just like rose up. Like you could
Yeah,
just hear him like, oh shit.
yeah, and it's not like it's not. It's that beautiful. It's that absolutely awesomeness about a Japanese crowd, where it's not like everyone's like oh like going ape shit, but you hear just the energy. You can hear the energy and the intensity come up.
You don't hear individual screams. You hear just
Or this is awesome.
right.
Chant.
Exactly.
Oh, fucking I hate chants so much. I really do hate chants. I think chants.
Where?
Oh, fuck. Kawada's the fucking man. I have
These,
I have slept on Kawada.
yeah,
I
watching this,
oh
we've
oh
only
oh oh.
we've
But
only seen a couple.
the worst Kawada match was that Mick Foley match for Hustle.
Yeah.
But I think Kawada's been. I think we've had Kawada 3 or 4 times maybe now. Let me look. But let's see. I am seeing his name 4 times. Let's see. We
Okay.
got this
Makes sense.
match. We got him versus Masawa, which was a fucking banger back in '94. So right around this time ish. We have the Mick Foley match for Hustle, which I did not like Kawada in at all.
No.
Like of the two people that phoned it in. Kawada phoned it in and not Foley.
Right.
Foley did really well with that. And then we had Hansen and Gordy versus Tenryu and Kawada. Yeah, so those are the 4 matches, including this one, which I do not remember that Stan Hansen Gordy match at all.
I I think I do because I was familiar with Gordy, but from like the Freebirds,
Yeah,
and
as
so to see him with
all of
Hanson,
us,
yeah.
it's all shitty American. Well,
Mhm.
well actually you knew him because you actually watched WCW mixture bullshit back in the 90s. I knew him. The first time I ever saw Terry Gordy was the 95 King of Deathmatch video. I didn't know anything about Terry Gordy until
Yeah, I
I
mean,
watched that.
saw him in late '80s, early '90s.
You know,
I still remember the story I always tell about like the book from my grandparents' house
mhm.
that I really wish I could find, but it covered like Kamala, all the Von Erichs, the Freebirds, stuff like that. Now, Quada's the fucking man, and watching this match, if you would just put like Eddie Kingston's face on it, you'd be like, "Oh yeah, it's a good Eddie Kingston match." A lot.
I'm gonna say this. If we watch Eddie Kingston right now, I'm pretty sure he couldn't do any like most any of this. Like,
Well, I see some influence. You
oh, I see
definitely
the
see some
influence. Yeah,
influences.
yeah.
It's like what influence influence Kawada and Kobashi, or Does he take a little bit of all the pillars, all Japan in general? I'm just getting dumped on his
It's all
head.
the pillars, but Kawada is his, like, that's his, for lack of a better term, his spirit animal.
Hmm.
Um, so ooh, fancy. Sorry, moving around the screen make confusing Doug probably. Um, but I see it. I really do. But like, yeah, like I mean, so as far as Eddie's concerned, he has the Kobashi chops that WWE Twitter accounts will be like, "Oh, is this real wrestling?" No, but it's cool. Like, and I don't want to take a real chop from Eddie or fucking Kobashi, so we'll take it as
Fuck
that.
that. Yeah. I didn't know how these two would mix, and it went really well.
I think Kawada could probably wrestle with anyone at this time, as long as
For
it's not
yeah,
Hulk Hogan or fucking Ultimate Warrior or
yeah.
anyone
So
like that.
anyone that could wrestle,
Yeah,
if that
well,
makes
I mean,
sense. Like,
like I think he could. Fuck it, I'd take Kawada with Bushwhacker Luke. Excuse me.
sheep
Um.
herders.
Oh yeah. No. Bushwhackers. The we're fucking giving up. This that would fucking hurt. I just realized that he had Kawada's arm like over his thigh and was just bending at the elbow and like
Yeah.
trying to hyperextend the elbow. The little knee rubs on Kawada's face too. Albright, I liked Albright. I really like Albright. I think the reason why I know Albright Albright never made it big like here, and I figured it out.
What was it?
Uh, big guy can fucking wrestle, but no power. Not a power move guy, right? He's not Dr. Death, Steve Williams, who he oh fuck, what did I read? I think it might have been in All Japan. Dr. Death went to WWE in like 98, 99. Albright was put into the Dr. Death spot. But he has no power. Like he has no scariness to him. Like he's fucking good. I love watching his matches. Especially but can you put him against can you put him against an American wrestler week in, week out on American TV?
Yeah.
You know, I think that's a lot of it. And he has tiny feet. His feet are bothering me. Like how tiny his feet are.
The size like 8.
I don't know. Like, I mean, they could be
They
they
could
could be like
they could
they
be
could be a
15, but
12. They could be a 12 or 13 or 14. Like compared to the rest of his body, and that doesn't help that he's wearing shitty little boots, but it's also part of his gimmick. Like, yeah. So I would say he's not a bruiser, and he has tiny feet, and that's why he just didn't make it in America. He also passed away soon.
heart
Like,
attack, if I remember when I first looked him up.
yeah, heart attack 2000, 2001, something like that. Like he honestly, if his body could have lasted, him in like 2006, 2007 Ring of Honor, that would have been the
Hmm.
place for him. Like,
Yeah.
or Noah. Like he goes from All Japan, Masawa leaves, Masawa creates Noah. He's wrestling in Noah. He comes over to fucking Ring of Honor and has, a good little stint there. But yeah, just American wise, it's not there for him. Oh, good spin heel kick. Kawada's the man.
Put him up with a guy like Morishima or something later on.
Exactly. He reminds me of a Morishima. I couldn't remember the guy's name. That's why I completely blanked out on it.
Yeah. I like this
But
right here. How
oh,
quickly he rolls out of that. And they've been setting up that from the very beginning of the match and
mhm.
finally breaks the finger lock.
Yeah.
I've been seeing some weird videos the last couple days. Did you know Morishima is like 2006 or 8 was in like the
Had a WWE
WWE?
tryout.
Yeah.
Did you
And
hear?
they
Did
like
you hear his? Did you hear his entrance
his
song?
music. Yeah.
That went right up your alley, didn't it, Doug?
Think it was yesterday.
Yeah.
Oh
Well, I think it
man.
was yesterday when they released it. It's a WWE ran account on YouTube. It's like called WWE Vault or something like that.
Okay.
And essentially, from what I understand, um, instead of running the hidden gems part on the network, or what do we call it? Is it the network? Fuck, I don't even know
The
what we
cock.
call it. Like on Peacock. Um, instead of running that, like that's what they're gonna do is do hidden gem as essentially these what the fucks kind of things on this YouTube channel.
Hmm.
And they're actually asking for fans to kind of give them some ideas. For me, with the network, Hidden Gems was all I wanted to watch. Like all I wanted to watch. And then obviously like the old pay-per-views and stuff like that too. But like Hidden Gems was like that was the fucking thing for me. I don't want to promote WWE Vault on YouTube. However, I will say no, I can't say that because certain things, platforms in which we're releasing this on will probably fuck things up. Yeah, go WWE Vault.
I was seeing it. I think just everyone else started reposting it too. It was just
Oh
kept
yeah,
coming up on like reels and Twitter videos, and it was just
yeah,
all over.
yeah. I mean, I think the couple matches for Morishima. I don't even know who he wrestled, but I think they're like 2 4-minute matches or something like that. Like I think Twitter has them all out there. Like
And
they're
they
easy to
called
find.
him at one point. He was announced like Morishimo
Yeah,
or Morashimo or
I think it was
something.
Morash or there was yeah Morashima might have been it.
There's an O at the end.
Yeah, But at the same time, I don't know, man. I'll put it this way: I will peruse that vault because I love that kind of shit. I really do.
It's, I mean, it's one of the reasons we started this, or you're just
It's a
finding
lot of
weird
the reason
stuff.
why we started this was to
Yeah.
find was essentially to find shit that we haven't watched. That oh, oh did you watch the Young Bucks, which is the Lucha Brothers? All right, Doug, where are you taking me?
All right, Bill. I'm taking you back in time. August 28th, 1989. The Meadowlands Arena in East Rutherford, New Jersey.
Okay. Home of the
Bill,
New Jersey Nets at the time and New Jersey Devils.
we are going to the
Hockey, Doug.
second annual SummerSlam.
Okay.
SummerSlam 89, Bill.
89 is a good one if I remember right.
Nope. Nope.
It's not a good one.
No, it is. I just kept hitting the wrong buttons. Okay. The match we're giving you. No, you're not getting Jim Duggan and Demolition versus Andre the Giant and the Twin Towers,
Oh man. I
which I'm
bet that
kind
was
of disappointed.
oh man, I bet Andre was doing really well at that time.
Hmm.
Oh wait, I'm looking at this card. Oh,
You were getting.
this is not a good one.
No, it's not as good as I thought it'd be.
Oh my god, this is bad. Except for one match. Okay, we'll find out.
The match you were getting is a tag team match. You were
Oh, that's the
getting
one I wanted.
you were getting the Brainbusters, Arn Anderson and Tully Blanchard
Hell yeah.
with Bobby the Brain Heenan versus the Hart Foundation, Bret Hart and Jim Neidhart.
Fuck yeah. No, that's a one match that I haven't found a link for, but I've had in my queue forever. Oh, where was it? Let me see. Because it's Brainbusters versus Strikeforce, WrestleMania 5. I've never looked up a link for it, but I've had it on there since almost the very beginning.
Strike was
Strikeforce
Strike
Strikeforce
Force.
is Tito Santana and Rick Martel.
Oh, okay, nice.
So like three Superboys for me. And whoa, what the fuck? Sorry, light went weird. Three
And Tito
super
Santana.
and Tito, and I have nothing against Tito,
I always
but
liked Tito
yeah, I love Tito. Like, but
as a kid.
yeah, like I think it's a racism that we like Tito. But yeah, so I'm excited. I have seen this match. It is I haven't seen it in ages. But we got Arn versus Bret. We got Tully versus Bret. Jim Neidhart's just there. I'm good with that. Like, and fucking Heenan.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, this is good. I like this.
The rest of the
Because
card, though, a little weird.
the rest of the card is weird. However, it does have Rick Martel and the Fabulous Rougeaus, who I actually really do like the Fabulous Rougeaus versus Tito and the Rockers. If you're gonna give me a HBK match, you give it to me
Got
with
to be the
Party
Rockers.
Marty. Yep, you give it to me with Party Marty. Oh shit, that's the and Warrior versus Rude is like, in my opinion, Warrior's best match, and that's only because of Rude.
Rude.
Wrestled the fuck out of it.
16 minutes.
That's a
The
long one,
longest match on
and
the card.
Warrior almost killed Bobby Heenan during that match. He did a military press slam, but like twisted Heenan on the drop, and Heenan almost dropped on his fucking head.
Ugh.
Yeah, fucking Jim Hellwig. Oh fuck! The main event is the one with has one of the best promos ever with Savage Zeus and Sensational Sherry just all being coked out of their fucking gourds. That's awesome. Oh, okay, cool. Do you have an accessible link for those who do not have the network?
I do. I have a Daily Motion.
Yay!
And there probably is a WWE YouTube link, but
Probably not. Probably it's
I think I saw one, but I decided to go.
yeah.
I can find both, but I
Yeah,
have Daily
or
Motion
watch
for
it on the
sure.
network if you have the
Yeah.
network, whatever. But do
Yeah.
the network. We will provide an opportunity for you to have it if you don't have the network.
Right.
Okay. We'll leave it at that. Okay, Doug. So I have two in mind. You know, I think I have to go with one over the other because the other one was okay. Yep. So Doug, I don't know where I'm taking you. Likely it is somewhere in Pennsylvania. We're looking at March 25th, 2012. Chikara presents It's How You Play the Game. We've referenced him.
2012 Chikara. Okay.
We've referenced him already today. We have Eddie Kingston versus Brodie Lee.
Nice. I have never seen this. I think I've looked at it and wanted to watch this match, but yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm not saying anything because I'm not excited. I'm just kind of like,
Would this be the first time you've ever seen Brodie Lee not in WWE or in AEW?
no.
Ooh, fancy boy.
Where did we watch some? I want to say we had an assignment, or I watched a couple early matches trying to find one for you way back.
Like, I assume you watched like the Claudio Brodie Lee.
Yeah,
Where was the cage match?
I think I've seen that one. I've seen a few other ones.
Yeah, we have not had a Brodie Lee match.
No?
Nope.
It gave me the...
Not in our records. It's all prowrestling.com.
Nice. No, I'm super looking forward to it. They're both sweet, sweet boys.
Yes. We will provide, like I mentioned earlier, we will provide the links to both matches in case you don't have the network to watch the SummerSlam 89 match. You will be able to find it elsewhere. It will be links in the description and also at itsallprowrestling.com. You go to wrestling assignments. You will see all the matches that we're going to watch, such as these two, and all the matches that we have watched. I think that's it. We're done. I'm going to make this quick and easy before I do a weird ramble about Iron Claw, which I had to edit like 15 minutes out of last video. So before you go,
we can talk about SummerSlam 89 some more.
No,
who do we got?
No,
Coco Beware.
Coco Beware is tight. He's actually super good. He's way better than, unfortunately, most people think of him. Anyway, back to it. It's all prowrestling.com is where you can find everything that we've done, past podcast episodes, past wrestling assignments. Back in the day, we used to connect the podcast episodes with the wrestling assignments and or vice versa. We didn't do the videos until very recently. You're already watching the video now, so you already know about the YouTube channel. You can also follow us on pretty much all the social medias. IA Pro Wrestling on Twitter. It's All Pro Wrestling on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Threads, Blue Sky, and then obviously like I said, just YouTube. We also have a Patreon. If you would like to shoot us a couple bucks, that'd be awesome. If not, that's fine. But the Patreon itself, if you are interested, is that's All Pro Wrestling Patreon. Just look it up. And if you can't, shoot a couple bucks our way, that's completely cool. No worries. However, tell a friend. And I'm not going to say click, and subscribe, but tell a friend and
Spread
watch
the
videos.
Word.
Yeah. So, did you say F word?
F word.
In 80 countries, in 7 languages, to over 500 million homes each week. It's wrestling podcast.
The worldwide leader in sports entertainment.